Cary, North Carolina on day one of TST 2025. And at WakeMed Soccer Park, it's the Prem against La Liga in Group G. West Ham United, the Hammers, and Villarreal do battle in Game 2 of their day. And we welcome you in, Neil Sika with the 17-year professional, $1 Million Lloyd Sam. I'm Neil Sika, here to have some fun. Lloyd, both these teams, very important wins in their first game of the group stage. Year 2 of the tournament in different iterations for them. Very imperative they got off to a good start.
Yeah, both wins, both convincing as well. So right now, they really want to see how good they are. Can they kick on and get that second win, which would take them through? So big game for both of these teams.
Great history and tradition for both of these clubs. The fan bases, the supporters, very passionate, and we should have a great game this evening, kicking off the second game of group stage play in Group G. We'll come back. Got our soccer.com stars to watch and kickoff. It's next from TST 2025. Here at First Horizon Stadium, WakeMed Soccer Park, Field 1 in Cary, North Carolina. Good crowd filing in for Game 2 of Group G. All 4 top leagues in the world are represented, and we've got the Premier League and La Liga here this evening. West Ham United, Villarreal. The rules here for this competition, if you're unfamiliar, 7v7, 20-minute halves. And then the quirks, you can be offside. There are no throw-ins. A new addition to the rules this year. Not stagnating on the ball, progressive passes before 8 seconds are up, and target score time, which is the headline of the competition. Game must end on a golden goal. A Golden Fleece Award has been given this year for the game winner. Here are the starting lineups. Clayson De Lima in goal for West Ham United. He's a veteran of the competition, but Rian Marquez had 2 assists in the opening game against the Brown Ballers this afternoon. And Giuseppe Rossi got his first, while Tomas Pina had the goal for Villarreal to win it in target score time, 4-2 over 10-15. So a lot of mixed veteran presence, legacy players, but also, Lloyd, we know if you come into year one, maybe you make some adjustments the second year back, find some of those smaller-sided guys, and MASL figures 7-on-7 Kings League, they are all over the field here in the matchup tonight.
Yeah, you're seeing TST's been all about adjustments. Coming back the next year, little tweaks, a little bit younger, maybe too old the year before. That's the biggest adjustment you normally see, going younger.
Marquez right at midfield, the MASL All-Star, a part of this collaboration. West Ham United was in the competition in 2023. It was marred by a racial incident in their game against Dallas United. Dallas United was dismissed from the competition, but they're back, retooled, recalibrated, and in a bit of irony, the head man of that Dallas United team is now West Ham United's coach, leading them into competition here in 2025. The Hammers, Hammerhead is on site. Villarreal. El Submarino Amarillo, the yellow submarine. They finished 5th this year in La Liga.
I love your Spanish accent, my friend. keep it coming.
Are you mocking me?
Not at all. You've been on your A game.
Well, and for West Ham United, you've seen a game or two in your time from the Premier League at Charlton Athletic and Upton Park and the Boylan Ground back in the day. They finished 14th this past season. Two well-represented fan bases that have festered their way into the States and bring a new era to their clubs here at TST. Underway. This is Group G, Game 2. And we welcome our audience here on ESPNU. It's Riyad Marquez. A big hold-up play from the forward, had 2 assists in the opening game. It's West Ham United, Villarreal, Sika and Sam and our great crew. Glad to have you aboard. Premier League and La Liga doing battle. This is Game 2 of Group G. Marquez with the header, and they have found him early and often. A big threat for the MASL All-Star for West Ham United.
That was a good chance. He'll probably want that back. Should have hit the target.
Hold-up play from Giuseppe Rossi. What a great career he had. New Jersey boy done well. His first TST goal came in the opening game against 10-15. Brown Ballers is the other participant here in Group G. But Villarreal, they were up against the crucible in that game, Lloyd. They gave up a lot of good chances within the first 10 minutes or so. Outshot 28-8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, took advantage of some miscues to go up 3-0 and hold on before they got the target score goal and won 4-2.
Well, that's got to feel good to not play that well and still go through. You get to work on things and you're in the W column.
Rossi. His attempt at head tennis will sneak out over the byline after some good defending by Chris Andreo. Soccer.com players to watch. Berto Palmer, 2-time MASL Defender of the Year. His first all-time in blocks, and a former participant in this competition in Giuseppe Rossi.
Not just former participant, he's won it 2023, Berto Palmer, so that's big TST experience. It's hard to find. I think it's expensive as well to recruit at this point.
See what I did for you there? I left you the rub.
You make it easy for me.
Lisea Betsani, who spears from the back of the midfield for West Ham United. They're wearing the all-black and the traditional look for Villarreal. Last year, in their first year in the competition, went out in the round of 16. Pressure and a turnover, and it's blocked by Asenjo, who got his big paw out there. West Ham player down, while Villarreal builds out in transition.
No shot. No shot.
gotta say, that was a good high press from West Ham there. Reminded you of an 11-a-side high press up there. That was perfectly executed until the finish.
Vetsani really thriving. Also another MASL player, the indoor league, a big part of this.
And here's that high press. There's the big save. It's a big chance early.
Julian Stinson had one of the 3 Hammers goals in that win. They came back from a goal down. And
did you see the 3 goals? It was 3 screamers as well.
it was just adjacent to us on the field too here, and they were flying in. But Dylan Villarreal, the head coach of West Ham United, loved the fact they played resilient from behind. That's headed off the corner wide on a tee up from Oscar Romero. There are a few former FC Dallas players and academy members on the Villarreal side.
Moises Hernandez, I played against him actually in MLS. Again, experience, have to mix it with youth.
There's Dylan Villarreal. What a story. He was in charge of that Dallas United team. West Ham played in the first year of the competition, and they had to deal with a racial incident in that opening group stage where Dallas United, they went and made quick work, the brass, to remove them from the competition. West Ham United was not a part of TST last year, but they're back, and that's a little bit of harmony with Dylan Villarreal. And
it's good to have them back, though. You know, not here last year, but it's a big name in football. Premier League club. They'll be looking to make some noise.
Asenjo leads it along. Here's Oscar Romero. The patience exhibited often we see from these goalkeepers, scanning the fields. And oftentimes you have to choose, are you going zone or man v man in a matchup defensively?
Yeah, zone, man v man, high press, low block. There's a lot of different ways you can get it done. And you saw West Ham already win it back on a high press. So now, sitting back and waiting for the right time to maybe bring that pressure.
This is Xisco Nadal, the youngest scorer in La Liga history when he did so at 16 years young.
I wouldn't want him holding the ball up in front of me. That would be a tough assignment.
He was instantaneously a fan favorite last year, scored a great goal. Hoosier Army defeated Villarreal. In fact, Nadal was red carded in that game. That was in the round of 16 in 2024.
And I think Villarreal moving it so that they can get back to Xisco.
And that's often a big strategy, a central striker, someone who can hold the ball up, and then you get runners off with these short sides, because it's tough to get width in 1v1 situations.
It's tough to do most things. You know, the 7v7, there's a duel around the corner. There's players everywhere. That's why I target score time. That's when it loosens up a little bit.
Work across to the near side, and now control from Nilton de Andrade. It's from the Boston area. This is Mauro Zarate.
Anton Ferdinand. He's played no minutes yet. I spoke to him before the game. He says, you probably won't see me this game either. He's there for support and leadership.
He was one of the 4. They brought legacy players their first year here. And to be fair, they looked at the charitable ambitions if they won, but now they're locked and loaded with a lot of small-sided players to help some of the returnees for return. And Ferdinand's such a huge presence, though, for these guys.
Oh, yeah.
His leadership, whether he's playing or not. Andrade for Eric Pereira. His cross searched out and blocked away for a corner. Zarate, 22 games in his West Ham career. It's nodded back in the direction of the keeper, Asenjo, who had 9 saves. He had 9 saves earlier in this afternoon in the first game against 10-15. That's a lot of saves for one game.
Interesting tempo. It's got the tempo of two teams that have won already, and they're just thinking, we don't need to do anything crazy. Let's keep it tight. And that's probably the right strategy. Until Chisco and Nadal is open. They've not gone to Nadal enough. We heard they were going to use his minutes well when he's on.
They are very measured with those minutes. Yeah, have a lot of quick fired rotation. Cesar Arzo, who played in this competition last year, he said, no more, I'm done. I'm gonna fade out and work. But just like you, the running, the intensity is so high, but
you got to be fit. He had so much passion talking to us about TST tactics and different ways you could go about winning. He said not making mistakes.
With a build-up here that slips off the toes of Julian Stinson, the MASL and U.S. futsal player. He said it's pretty simple. We don't want to make mistakes. That's the key to this competition. You can be running around like a chicken.
And how did this game start? They were turned over in their own box early. So one to learn from. I don't think they're going to take as many chances, Villarreal. Oh, here they go. Playing out. Here's the press.
Senho hammers it long right into West Ham's bench. That's Sani, 8 caps with Lesotho, his home country internationally.
Good step.
On the ball now. Senho is out to cut off the angle. So West Ham has showed a little bit of promise here, Lloyd.
Exactly what I was going to say. Villarreal on the back foot, camped in. West Ham has turned them over a couple times in their own half.
Halfway through the opening 20. Zarate, 38-year-olds, will now take a jog off. Unlimited substitutions. They come in packs of 3s.
Commentator's nightmare. Don't know who's coming on and off at times, but totally understandable with how difficult this actual kind of football is. You know, some might look at it and say, oh, smaller pitch, this should be easier. It just means more actions, more dynamic things, more intensity, and more tussling with the opponent.
Less rest defense and more
less
chaos.
Less rest in general.
That's better said. Moron for Villarreal. Castillon in their reserves where he played to start his career. Devin Vega, one of the 3 goal scorers for West Ham United in their opening game of the group stage, where they came a goal down to win 3-1. Won 1 game in the competition in that group stage, which was abbreviated for them in 2023.
Very measured approach, all good ball.
And a low dragging shot from Caroso, who had a great goal in the game 1 of this group stage. You can visit soccer.com, the official store of the soccer tournament. Lloyd Sam there's a foul after that ball is launched, and our referee, John Luke, is over for a word after the move by Ellen Acosta.
I'm not sure what all the arguing is about. It's a foul. Stonewall brought down, and this is probably Villarreal's best moment, the highest they've got up the pitch. I might have brought on Giuseppe Rossi to take this.
Well, you've got Chisco Nadal. "37 years old. He'll turn 38 at the end of this month. 3 loans. His time at Villarreal, and sends that off toward downtown Raleigh.
He was subbed on to take that. He's subbed back off immediately. He's better than that, Chisco. We've seen much better from him in this tournament alone.
Was an amazing player as a youth. Spain U17 Euros back in Portugal in 2003. That's also the beauty of this competition, the ecosystem of the player ranging from anywhere in their young 20s to into their 40s.
That is the beauty of it.
You can go back to the fountain of youth.
That is the beauty of it, on the same pitch.
Stinson, that's a wiry shot. Contact made after the deflection. West Ham wants a penalty. Shouts for a trip in that penalty area, but Jean-Luc, the referee, lets it go.
Have a little look at it, left of your screen. No way, not a penalty for me.
Sergio Angel Sanchez was the defender. Pereira coming again for West Ham.
West Ham just look a bit more fluid with the ball and movements. There's a lot of technical players in there for West Ham. We did talk about their 3 goals. It was all long-range shots. Good technical ability on show.
They had a very sticky first half in that game, too, against Brown Ballers in their group stage opener. They've looked the better of the two. 6 minutes remaining in the half. Interception out of the back, Sanchez. Leads the path for Romero, but it's short-lived, and then the burst up the sideline, Marquez. Everything starts with a play back on an indirect free kick. Vetsani was last with the KC Comets. He didn't play in the MASL last year. 14 in the black shirt. This is Julian Stinson, and now Vega.
Overly inspired by these Villarreal tactics.
The Andrade. I think there's some fatigue already setting in. That shot taken by Stinson is blocked.
I don't know if it's fatigue. They haven't even run around yet. Like, they've set out to defend, and then on the ball, it's not been extremely positive with much ideas how to play out. And then when you look at West Ham, you see the complete opposite. Lots of guys that want it, movement, nice little touches, confidence.
Villarreal head coach Cesar Arzo did say he didn't want them running around like chickens. Just running for the sake of running. So maybe they're conserving some energy here.
He did say that, actually. How are you going to score?
That's to be foreseen. Fans from all over the world, and for these clubs, the supporters have filed into Field 1. Game 2, Group G of this group stage. Their final games will be tomorrow. The knockout rounds start on Friday. 48 teams for the second year in the men's competition. Some interplay, possibility for the moment. Acosta.
But you see what I mean there, when you said the interplay, the little pattern of going down the line and the guy darting inside. You need movement. West Ham have it, but they're going to have to break down this block.
Clayson de Lima, veteran goalkeeper who's played in this competition in past. Been sitting back in a hammock for much of this first half. Had 2 saves in their victory earlier this afternoon.
That sounded nice. Sitting back in a hammock.
There's a nice breeze settling in here to Kerry. Great first 2 days. Expecting a little bit of weather maybe with the week carrying on. There's a foul on the outside and a free kick coming. But for all the good play from West Ham, they still don't have that breakthrough goal. Here's where we sit in the standings and why it's imperative, especially with the goal differential, which is the tiebreaker. With both teams a win can really set the tone heading into the final day tomorrow. Of course, you can get 3 spots coming out of a group based off of the wild card places. Top 2 move on. Marquez.
I'll tell you why I'm laughing. Once it feels like Villarreal are playing for a draw or something. There's no draws. You're going to have to score at some point. More camped in than I would think a team that's won the first game would be.
Well, their brass felt that they were a little bit lucky to have the score turn out, flattering them the way that they did. They were under siege a lot in that game early on. Tatsani. Zarate. Got away from Rossi.
Okay, so this
gives it an old-fashioned rip.
That's where I'm thinking the counter-attack comes. once you win it back, you go quickly. Not seeing much speed in that Villarreal team.
Well, in order to counterattack, someone's got to sprint.
That's right. But no draws in this game. Someone's got to remind them.
And here's the shot taken by Zarate. But this is the tough part, though, against a block that's defending like this in Villarreal. What's the way through for West Ham United here?
It's a bit of what they've been trying. There's a lot of movement and little passes. Get some of those clever guys together. Maybe shots from distance is a good idea after they scored 3 in the first game.
Andrade, so some clutter.
There we go.
Thetsani!
He heard me.
Thrashing one over. And that's the thing. Often goals are scored off miscues, mistakes. You force a rebound. Right place, right time. They see a Thetsani comes off.
Okay, so maybe this is the plan. When the Nadal comes on now, who's come on, and then maybe get it up to him. And in between, you defend, defend, defend. Can't do that.
No, you cannot punt the ball as a goalkeeper. There's also infractions. You can't screen the goalkeeper. You can't roam if you're an attacking player in the opposing penalty area when you have possession in your own half. But no punts allowed for the keepers. So that leads to this set piece now for West Ham United. Final seconds of the first half. West Ham, they've been asking the questions. Atsani sets adrift to Pereira. Caruso over, Pereira. Kind of love the hair from Andreos. West Ham shield right on the lettuce. Foul after a loss of possession. Pereira brings down the man in the corner. And that is the first half here. Game 2 of Group G. No goals. West Ham, likely the more threat.
Oh, definitely the more threat. Villarreal, I want to see a bit more with trying to score a goal in the second half.
More coming up from Kerry, scoreless here at the break.
The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official wealth management partner of TST.
Look at the passion from Villarreal head coach Cesar Arzo. But there's no score after 20 minutes of action here at the half against West Ham United. First half stats brought to you by RBC Wealth Management. I think you get a pretty clear idea, Lloyd, of who's controlling this game right now.
Funny enough, there's always a stat I want to see. Possession is what I would have wanted to see. 90% it would have been for West Ham. It's been all West Ham, and I want to see more from Villarreal in the second half.
Just 2 shots, outshot by 20 in their opener, but it's still scoreless, awaiting the breakthrough. And the second half is coming up from Cary, North Carolina.
As a reminder, TST will be using target score time at the conclusion of the game. At the end of the second half, the target score will be set by adding 1 to the league team's goal count. The first team to reach that target score is the victor.
Today's broadcast is presented by Coca-Cola, the official fan refreshment of TST.
Away we go in the second half. Game 2, Group G, West Ham United, Villarreal, scoreless for the next 20 to determine what's the setup for target score time. If it's what we currently have, then it's the next goal wins, but 20 minutes to play out. Great to have you on ESPNU. Sika and Sam and Sika, our great crew. And off we go. We saw a lot of talking from Cesar Arzo, Lloyd, Villarreal's head coach. That passion, intensity. Well, we see that in the play of Villarreal. We'll go long right off of the kickoff.
Questions. If the plan is when Chisco Nadal comes on, then we're going to try and score a goal, fair enough. But didn't see it enough in the first half. West Ham, you ask what could they do more? It's going to be tough. 6 yellow shirts on the outfield back. It's going to take some ability. Got to beat a man 1v1, little 1-2s. Okay, here's a counter.
Vazte with the hold-up play for West Ham, couldn't keep.
Much better.
And Rossi rolls into a shot that's blocked. Now the break comes. Hassani up in the play, but the pass intercepted.
It's good tracking back there from Villarreal. They finally got expansive and got up the pitch. That was much better from Villarreal. and the tracking back to get back in.
Tomas Pina, who had the game winner in target score time, number 4 in yellow, was making that track back run. I thought it was really interesting yesterday. The options here, of course, who can score for this Villarreal team, and Giuseppe Rossi has his first goal in 2 TSTs, and you kind of left out the low-hanging fruit that was back in the day when you were playing.
Oh, yeah.
You got his shirt playing in the game. Was that in League One or the Championship? Or
that was in the Premiership.
It was in the Prem.
Against Man United. You always trying to dump me down, huh? That was in the Premiership that time.
I forgot about your 10 games. I'm sorry.
Wow. Wow.
Hey, 10 games is better than most.
I forgot about your 10 games. That was rude for me. That was one of the 10 games, though.
But that was really cool, I thought, when you got his shirt, but he didn't get yours.
Oh, my gosh. You're making this even worse. So I saw Giggs and Scholes, and I tried to ask them for their shirt. They said, no, it's already going to someone. Then Rossi was there. I feel like I'm doing him a disservice now.
And the kind American passed it along. Well, now he comes off. There was some clatter in the midfield.
Let's give him some credit for what kind of player he was.
What a career.
Yeah. When he comes in on that left foot, especially from the right side, Giuseppe Rossi, he was deadly. Choosing my words carefully.
He had some knee injuries hampering his career. Thatsani. Vega. Thatsani, the quarterback of that West Ham midfield, anchoring how they play forward here. Here's the operation by Vaste inside the penalty area where they're calling a screening incident.
Look at the changes, wholesale changes.
Asenjo with some great stops for Villarreal in the first half. The busier of the 2 goalkeepers. There's Chisco Nadal.
Let's see if they go straight to Chisco.
I'd say the plan is pretty clear when he's on the field.
They're not playing it as much as I would think. He's open now, I think, to get it to his feet. That's a good movement. Oh,
it's turned over.
Sure.
Asenjo trying to rally back to his net, but Leo Caruso held back. He let fly from just outside the penalty area for his great goal that took a slight deflection in their first game of the day against Brown Ballers. Same goal differential for both teams. Critical game, though, to take control of Group G. And a scoreless stalemate here in Kerry. Raul KP. Vaste loads it up. It's a corner for West Ham. Raul KP, the Indian international, what a social media following, second largest in all of India for footballers. Bigger profile than you. Here's a shot. I'm playing all the hits now, buddy.
Oh, I'm on the back foot with you today. I'm gonna let you just win today.
There is KP.
You've been bullying me.
He's filling out. Now this West Ham group, and they want to do well by their supporters. The hard work, the grit, the passion which they're known for from.
I've seen games like this though, not just TST, real football as well, but where teams sit back, and then they do enough right at the end and steal it. You know, it's giving a vibe that that's what Villarreal are trying to do.
Marquez hounds Rossi. He's a father soon to be of 3 children, living in the New Jersey area these days. On the chase around, that's a good takeaway. Stinson. But for Caruso, the deflection and the save Asenjo, who has been immense for Villarreal, and that stretch keeps out the opening goal.
Yeah, that always works well. Having a good keeper behind you in the low block. That was a great save.
There's a hammer over from Stinson.
Gets down really well.
Leading the tournament in saves right now. Sergio Asenjo, whose career was really wrecked by knee injuries. He had so much promise U19 international for Spain. Just under 200 games with Villarreal in his career. Stinson. He's smooth on the ball. Vega. Caruso. Rockets it off the bar. West Ham coming closer.
And that's what you do when there's a block, as he was asking. Keep moving it. Lots of guys that are comfortable with that ball for West Ham. It's a good strike in the end. Little bit of movement, guys close together. Cardoso can hit them. Would have been his second long ranger.
Now Vega, Caruso, Stinson. Is it any surprise that the players that Sane carrying this game for West Ham are all of the indoor variety? Yes, they did.
They've recruited well. It looks like there's a lot of thought behind it. And they look solid defensively. Xisco Nadal has come on a few times and he's been able to do nothing. Once the ball goes forward, they've been able to rotate and stop the ball even getting there.
Head coach Dylan Bedrell, one thing that put him on the radar for West Ham, he took Kingsley in the Kings World Cup to the quarterfinals of that competition, that international competition 7-on-7. So the man can coach. Build up here, and the shot was blocked by Moises Hernandez. Guatemalan international, former FC Dallas Academy player. There's Rian Marquez. Stop and pop with Vega.
Counter maybe.
Pina.
Oh, good feet. Great stuff.
Deft touching. And off on the sideline it goes. Granel, Adrien Granel.
This is a chance to go quicker than that. It wasn't quick enough on that break. Great feet by Pina. And then it slowed down.
Marquez.
1v1.
Comes into the interior, where he'll lift it on back for De Andrade.
They get back so quick. 1v1 turn to 1v3. Look at the bodies sucking there. That's good defending, to be fair. A lot of bodies around it.
4 bodies crowd out Berto Palmer, who was trying to run off of the back of Rian Marquez. Asenjo. Tomas Pina.
Oh, Pina can play. He's had some nice touches.
Nice carved ball up into the middle of the field. Lead up for Hinojosa. Now they'll cycle it back. Cesar Murillo. Hear those coaches mic'd up for sound. It's beautiful.
I'm thinking the same. Me and you were thinking too much alike lately. It's great to hear. You hear exactly what the head coaches want. Tranquilo, tranquilo. It's been all tranquilo the whole game.
But in theory, with Asensio looking long here, Vasquez a pop, Rossi the hold-up play. Giuseppe Rossi turns, Pino takes the shot.
I tell you what, that is a better chance than you think there. That's good stuff from Giuseppe Rossi with the hold-up. Pina has to strike through that ball.
Might be one of the better attacking plays of the game for Villarreal.
If I was playing this style, I would understand that that's a big chance there. Pina needs to do better, even though he's been great.
They've sat back and defended well, but the longer they hold this at zeros, then you get into target score time, and it's anyone's guess. Down with a shout of agony for Sanchez.
He's back up.
Vaste, a word with Asenjo. Those long-standing veterans. Vaste, 38 years young, 51 games and 15 goals.
Here you see the tussling. It's a shoulder hit him in the face. It wasn't too bad.
Little handbags for you?
Oh, chance.
It's turned over. Asenjo, oh, does the splits! And De Andrade in disbelief.
Well, we shouldn't be in disbelief. The finish needs to be better than that, but I did like the splits and the energy you just gave. It was great. I needed that.
Was that his best Livy done there, Asenjo?
That was a big chance, though. The finish needs to be better.
Xisco Nadal. He takes a plop around midfield.
Villarreal getting turned over again in their own half, and look at this, but there's the finish and there's the splits.
He's still got it. Senho has been the man.
He leads in saves and counting. Wow. Okay, here's one into Nadal.
Made 4 saves in this game, but West Ham's had 14 shots overall.
Nadal tactic is not quite working. He's doing more running off and on as a sub than, you know, while he's on the pitch.
What can they do better around him? Why do you think it's not working?
I think West Ham is doing really well, actually. They're getting around him. They're not getting bullied by him. I thought everyone would get bullied by Nadal.
Floated Sanchez. That's a hard collision.
Wow, that was harder collision than the other one.
Andreas went right into Sanchez. He's back up. Hold up play, Rossi. Giuseppe Rossi.
Oh, Giuseppe, that is really good setup play.
But he's got Lazzane draped all over him like a cape. Cesar Arzo still shouting encouragement for Villarreal. 8 minutes from time here until target score time. In addition to all things TST, log on tst77.com/watch. You can see that at the bottom of your screen. All the matches that are not on ESPN family of networks, you can catch on YouTube throughout the tournament. It's a great way to catch up on the action before our next game, and everything archived. You can go back to year 1 of the competition too. They're all there for you. Raste. Pardon, that's Tatsani. No one in particular on the end of that looping pass.
Oh, well, let's say this. Villarreal have been better in the second half. You asked if there was going to be intensity. There's been a little bit more. There's a pulse. You know, West Ham, I would say, still the better team.
And in a game that's looked for Villarreal a struggle to score 1, they're lining this thing up in position where that's all they may need. And a foul on the back. The referee calling for the training staff. That's John Luke, who's in charge.
Look at the haircut, the West Ham haircut in the back there. You just missed it. Did you see it?
Yeah, I commented on it in the first half. Andreas, amazing lettuce.
Oh, that's what that meant?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't familiar with the lingo. That looked like, that's what that means, amazing lettuce.
Yes, I'm educating you. Came in and came out, but props to Chris Andreas, who's embraced the West Ham look.
Yeah. I did hear you say something about lettuce, but I wasn't about to ask.
Look at that. How
Is.
much time do you think is required to have something like that done? To that detail.
It's done really well, actually.
The hammers on the back. Wow.
It's so sharp. In between the lines, I like it. I like it a lot.
Would you have done a Charlton badge or Leeds United or New York Red Bulls?
That's a good question. Which one would
You've got the lettuce for it.
Don't know if we could call my hair lettuce.
Did I use that properly in a sentence for
does
you?
It work for my hair? I don't know. Something tells me this is different.
Senno being dragged around. Saccio back up, and then Asenjo is going to take in the yellow, drifting that out to the corner. So Lucas Sousa, another MASL player, KC Comets on here. Berto Palmer, Alcaroso, Raul KP.
Look at all the yellow shirts. This looks tough to break down right now. You're going to ask me, how do you break this down? I'm not sure.
Marquez whiffed on the shot. Potential break on for Villarreal. Look at the recovery defense. Cardoso, Leo Cardoso.
He's a good player, Cardoso. Scored in the first game. He's looked comfortable on the ball. Hit the bar in this one.
In tight, deflected, and out of play. Tatsani had the pulse of this game from the back, building out for West Ham. We're getting closer to target score time in a scenario where next goal might win. Like a handling outside, maybe incidentally off of Sanchez or off of West Ham.
Well, this is where I like the rules, obviously, of TST, because you can't just sit all you guys in front of the goal when the minutes are dwindling down and you're down to 3v3. It's going to be really interesting. Gets that far.
Now the foul here. Things stagnate for the moment.
A lot of bodies round Peanut. It's clipped a little bit.
I think they'd want to put him in an advanced position maybe a little bit more. He's good on the ball, Pina.
He's good defending as well. He can do it all, I think.
Well, he is at the tip of the formation right now, but Villarreal defending inside of the last 3 minutes. That cross draped along.
You know, if it was Pina that had their best chance when Rossi set him up, edge of the box.
That may be the way. With a yellow submarine, Vega.
Vega looks sharp.
Pereira. This is Julian Stinson. Berto Palmer.
And you see all the shirts again.
Vega. De Andrade takes a tumble, the hold-up play. Aggressive nature, which Villarreal pushing out. Acosta. De Lima, the reload. 2 minutes remaining. Palmer looks on against that sea of yellow. Zarate, and then the load up comes from Vega, but the shot blocked by Sanchez. This has been the pattern of the game.
It has been.
West Ham building, but not able to break through.
I think a lot of people are waiting for the target score time now. I think West Ham are probably #1 at that list, waiting for target score time.
Vega, Palmer, one of the great defenders in Major Arena Soccer League history. Ball at his boots right now. Sane returns. De Lima. For all those good intensive attacking plays from West Ham, you're left with it coming down to essentially one moment now in target score time. Villarreal with their diligent defending, and Asenjo being outstanding in goal.
Great movement by Vega. Not the best ball.
30 seconds remaining. Sneak away from the pack. Pass goes out for Granell. Vega on the repress. Just enough to force a giveaway, but there's only 15 seconds or so. See if we have any added time. Not much, if at all. Cardoso revs the engine, throws on the brakes. Palmer's pass into the corner. We hit 40 minutes. We're headed to target score time. A golden fleece moment's coming with a golden goal at stake. The next one wins. Villarreal, West Ham United on ESPNU.
The soccer tournament is presented by Adidas, the official fanwear and performance footwear partner of TST.
Well, it's time for what we love about this competition that makes it unlike any other in the world. Target score time. Scoreless after 40 minutes, so that means next goal wins. But the rub, every 3 minutes a player is removed, so that vast canopy of space could expand on the field of 65 by 45. Here in Group G, Game 2. Cesar Arauzo. Well, the integrity to defending pays off in the end for Villarreal. The Adidas Golden Fleece is at stake. Lloyd Sam would love to sign up for one of these. You hit the game-winning goal. Lifetime entry, not only to TST, but to the basketball tournament. The predecessor and a big part of TST. Chris Paul, one of the all-time great point guards. And he's a passionate soccer fan. We've seen Josie Altidore here today with Bournemouth and Chris Paul, so some big names. They come from all over the world. Over 40,000 people made their way to the event in 2024. And ticket sales even better here for 2025. We love this competition. We hope you do too. Villarreal and West Ham United, Game 2 of Group G.
So we got a first goal wins, target score, which is quite rare, isn't it? A 0-0 then goes into target score. But if Villarreal pull this off, then it's a tactical mastermind in the end. But the most important bit is every 3 minutes a guy is coming off, and that's going to change the game because Villarreal can't, you know, pack the box like that with less players.
So some last-minute instructions. 7-on-7 to start. Do you think we'll see the same type of philosophies, the way the game has played out over 40 minutes until some players start coming off?
I think we'll see exactly the same. Villarreal sitting back deep, not leaving anyone up top, and defending until there's not enough bodies. Can they nick one on the other end? They're thinking.
Sia Fezzani, Soto International. Alberto Palmer, much of the lineup that has played the majority of minutes for West Ham out on the field to begin target score time. Next goal wins here on Field 1 in Kerry. It takes control of Group G.
I can see West Ham going far in this tournament. We said they've recruited well, but they've got athletic guys at the back that can play and pass on the ball that aren't going to get beat in duels. It's the right recipe.
Composition of the roster looks well to make a deep run, but a long way to go. Game 2 of day 1.
So this looks similar, doesn't it? But the problem is, West Ham now have to really be concentrating and keep the back door closed, so to speak.
So imperative to avoid a mistake, but mindful that time can tick away and then you're down one less in personnel. Vega thinks about it. That low block from Villarreal. Then they're saving grace all game. Palmer. Vega! Va-va-voom and over.
A lot of changes already. 3 for each side.
Now you get the tactical chess match. It's usually after a shot. It's technically not a ton of interplay because you don't want to make that mistake that leads to transition or what would be the game-winning goal, the target score goal.
They're still playing out the back.
Sacchio, just under 190 games with Villarreal. There's a ball off the hand into midfield. Tomas Pina then took a trip. But it's back to West Ham United. 7-on-7 we start. You see the clock counting upwards, so when we hit 3 minutes, each 3-minute interval, a player comes off. Stinson, Leo Cardoso. Sousa some hold-up play. And Acosta is fouled. Cardoso doesn't agree. He's leaving the field and also gets cautioned.
10 seconds till first players come off.
Where's our other guy? Where's our other guy? Go.
Leo Cardoso, one of the 3 goal scorers in game 1 for West Ham this afternoon, earlier today.
And there's the yellow card. Stopped transition a little bit. Maybe that's why the card was given.
One thing of note, Brian Orozco has come in. He's the goalkeeper for West Ham in target score time. A little bit better with the ball at his feet and in the open field. That's also a key. The keepers are going to play a role once this thing whittles down a little bit more. 6v6 now.
Yeah, once it whittles down, it helps if your keeper can score as well, if it presents itself.
It's a U17 player on the youth international scene, U.S. futsal team.
You at least have to be comfortable enough on the ball to receive pressure, someone running at you, and move it to the next guy.
Hernandez, a driving run to the byline, earns a corner for Villarreal. Luis Hernandez, 28 games. Bananas are from Guatemala, and he wears the color, the banana color, well for Villarreal. Azria Granell to take the corner. Granell rising. Oh! Sanchez! Golden fleece to the team in gold. Villarreal wins it 1-0.
Unbelievable. I say unbelievable, or should I believe it? It looked like that was the tactic. Hold on, hold on, hold on, and nick one in target score time. And what goal it was as well, from the volley. You get a corner, first time, great connection, corner pocket. That's all, folks.
A rocket volley. Sanchez celebrates with the golden fleece.
There's the golden fleece. I will say one thing, West Ham, they're going to be a force later in the tournament. I'm sure of that. They look good.
Conquefa Real Atletico coming up next. Villarreal wins it 1-0.
Estábamos cagados. Sale a presionar el portero y se van. ¿Lo viste, no? Ojo.